Okay, so the final form that needs to be completed is the applicant final approval certification form. So within submittable, you'll notice I'm still in the cost certification form. So there is a link for this form as well on here. So I'll pull that open real quick. Okay, so at the top of the PDF version of the form, you'll notice it asks for some specific project information, of course, the property address, the time period of when the expenses were incurred and all that sort of stuff. And then you get to the actual certification section where it says, I am the property's owner and all work on this project has been completed and executed according to the proposed description as stated in the Part 1 and approved by SHPO. So just, making sure that the applicant's the property owner and that all of the work that was performed and is being claimed on the cost certification form was in fact, the work that was approved by SHPO, the scope of work. So, moving on to the next one, all itemized project costs on the cost certification form that are not marked as accrued have been actually incurred and paid, and invoices, canceled checks, and other supporting documents will be retained for a period of 5 years from the date the last tax credit certificate is issued. I agree to produce such records to DED upon request. So pretty straightforward on that one. Just making sure that the applicant certifies that all of the expenses were indeed paid. And moving on to the next point there. So I certify that all itemized project costs are properly categorized on the cost certification form as either qualified rehabilitation expenditures, QRE, or non-QREs in accordance with the applicable statutes, regulations, and guidelines established by the Missouri Department of Economic Development. So this ties back into what I've shown you guys on the cost certification form where we've got the different QRE examples listed. But it's just making sure that everything that's reported on the cost certification form and is being claimed as qualified is in fact qualified, and anything else is moved to non-qualified. And then the final bullet point on here is I agree to allow Missouri Department of Economic Development, the Missouri Department of Revenue, or either of their designated representatives access to the property and applicable records as may be necessary for the administration of the program. And that one's of course pretty self-explanatory on that. And then at the very bottom, it asks for the signature, date, printed name, and title. And that is it for this particular form.